Hi, I'm Muhammed. I'm Hamdan, and you're tuned in to Nightline. News making the headlines. Amendments to Insolvency Act 1967 passed unanimously at Dewan Rakyat. And nearly half of 2021 SPM students chose not to further studies. Good morning. Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa bin Shah and Abu Dhabi Crown Prince Sheikh Khalid bin Muhammad bin Zayed Al Nahyan on Wednesday graced the Langkawi International Maritime and Aerospace Exhibition 2023, Lima 23. The King and Sheikh Khalid arrived at the Mahsuri International Exhibition Centre MIEC at around noon and were welcomed by Defence Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Hassan. Other than visiting the booths at the exhibition, the royal visitors also watched the air show mounted by the aerobatics team from various countries, including the United Arab Emirates Air Force's Al Fursan. Sheikh Khalid, who is on a 4-day special visit to Malaysia since May 21st, had an audience with Al Sultan Abdullah at Istana Negara on Tuesday and a meeting with Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim before that. A special visit is expected to further strengthen the long-standing good relationship between Malaysia and the UAE, which was upgraded to a strategic partnership on September 27th last year. Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim expressed hope that the 2023 Langkawi International Maritime and Aerospace Lima 23 exhibition will reinforce Malaysia as a regional hub for the aerospace and maritime industries. The Prime Minister said in doing so, it will enable the country to move closer to the realization of the Malaysian aerospace industry blueprint and the Malaysia Shipping Master Plan.
And of course, I think I need to begin by expressing my profound appreciation, particularly the Ministry of Defence and Transport and all related ministries and agencies, including the Lima team, for such a splendid, successful and encouraging exhibition. This is spectacular in the sense of the level of support and recognition given to Malaysia. And I must also use this opportunity to express our thanks and appreciation to our colleagues from many countries. And in this particular function, to express our gratitude to our friends.
Datuk Seri Anwar said the Space Tech Nexus demonstrates that Lima 23 is a feature-focused event and ready to play a role in the growth of space technology, which is expected to reach a global market value of $10 trillion by 2030. He added that Lima 23 has established itself as an event that encompasses all sides of aerospace and maritime sectors, from both military and civilian aspects. At the event, the Prime Minister made a walkabout to see a static display of several air defence assets and spent some time talking to the Air Force members involved in the aerobatic show from 5 countries before visiting several booths. The event was previously held in 2019 and was halted in 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Some 180,680 SPM students from the 2021 school session chose not to further their education. Education Minister Fadlina Siddiq said this was based on data from the E-Profil Kerjaya Murid EPKM system, adding that the number comprised 48.74% of the intake. In her written reply to the Dewan Rakyat, Fadlina said that 115,939 SPM school leavers in 2020 chose not to further their education, making up 35.16% of the intake. The minister added that counselling teachers have also been briefed on the latest career trends, given their roles in advising secondary school students on possible future career paths. Fadlina added that the ministry was committed to motivating students to further their studies for the betterment of the country. Moving on, amendments to the Insolvency Act 1967 was passed unanimously via voice vote by the Dewan Rakyat on Wednesday. The key amendments include improvements to the automatic mechanism for bankruptcy dismissal, speedier discharge of bankruptcy status, easier bankruptcy dismissal for those aged above 70 and those with mental illness, as well as raising bankruptcy threshold from 50,000 to 100,000 ringgit. The Insolvency Amendment Bill 2023 was passed by the lower house after it was debated by 18 MPs from the government and the opposition bloc. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Law and Institutional Reform, Datuk Sri Azalina Othman Said, when winding up the debate on the bill, said that this was part of the government's commitment to help the people recover from bankruptcy.
Bankrupts harusnya diberikan peluang kedua untuk membina semula kehidupan dan menyumbang kepada pembangunan ekonomi negara. Dalam masa yang sama, pindaan turut dibuat kepada peruntukan berkaitan pelepasan automatik bagi menjaga kepentingan pemiutang dan kepentingan awam.
Earlier, she told the Dewan Rakyat the highest number of bankrupts in the country for the period between 2019 and 2023 belonged to the 35 to 44 years age group, involving 13,073 individuals. 5,297 bankrupts were aged 55 and above, while only 107 people below the age of 25 were declared bankrupt. On the gender breakdown, the minister said there are more bankrupt cases among men at 25,104 compared with 8,912 women, while personal loans are the main cause of bankruptcy at 49.22% compared with other types of financial loans. Currently, the Insolvency Department is reviewing a total of 264,127 bankrupt cases for dismissal. A total of 11.2 billion ringgit in unclaimed money belonging to the public has not been claimed as of April 30th. First Deputy Finance Minister Datuk Sri Ahmad Maslan told the Dewan Rakyat that a total of 3.3 billion ringgit had been returned to the public as of Wednesday. Datuk Sri Ahmad said out of the amount, 70% of the unclaimed money was from inactive bank accounts of 7 years and more. It was mainly made up of bonuses and dividend payouts, as well as trading accounts. Currently, it is being held in a consolidated trust account by the Registrar of Unclaimed Monies in the Accountant General's Department.
Bagaimana kita nak memanfaatkan wang yang tak dituntut itu, 10 bilion kita masuk dalam simpanan tetap. Dan pada simpanan tetap itu dapat 250 juta ringgit setahun, kira-kira dah tiap-tiap tahun selama 10 tahun dah kita dapat. Dan wang 250 juta ringgit itu kita kembalikan semula dalam wang yang disatukan dan digunakan untuk pembangunan dan juga bantuan rakyat.
He also said that the government will consider setting up an educational fund and scholarship to assist students with financial implications through the unclaimed money. However, Datuk Sri Ahmad said the focus now is to return the unclaimed money to the public, and those who want to claim them can do so through the Accountant General's Department official portal. On another matter, Datuk Sri Ahmad revealed that the Employees Provident Fund (EPF) raked in a profit of 46 million ringgit by selling 6 retail assets in the Klang Valley and Johor. He said assets sold in the Klang Valley were grocery retail outlet giants buildings in Bandar Kinrara, Putra Heights, USJ, Klang and Ulu Klang.
6 aset runcit yang dijual tu, bangunan Giant Bandar Kinrara, bangunan Giant Putra Heights, bangunan Giant USJ, bangunan Giant Klang, bangunan Giant Ulu Klang dan bangunan Giant Plentong di Johor yang 46 juta ringgit keuntungan tadi itu. Kita jual kepada Sunway REIT Berhad, ya, Real Estate Investment Trust. Dan Sunway REIT Berhad ini 15.24% adalah dimiliki oleh KWSP.
The Pontian MP said EPF's total assets were at 1.3 trillion ringgit, making it the richest government agency. He added that EPF also has property investments both domestically and internationally. Domestically, there is about 11 billion ringgit comprising EPF buildings at the headquarters and all states, while internationally it has about 30 billion ringgit, with half in the United Kingdom. Media Prima Berhad reported a revenue of 1.2 billion ringgit and a profit after tax of 59.3 million ringgit for the 15 months under review on the back of a challenging business environment and softer advertising market conditions. The group also reported a revenue of 210.8 million ringgit and profit after tax PAT of 5.4 million ringgit for the quarter ended March 31st, 2023. In broadcasting, Media Prima television networks remain the most watched television networks, led by TV3, which captured over 26% of the country's television audience in the 3 months under review, an increase from 20% recorded in the comparative period last year. Its group chairman, Datuk Sri Dr. Syed Hussein Al-Junid, said Media Prima's performance for the period was cushioned by non-advertising income and continuous cost optimization initiatives and other operating income. He added that the conglomerate is confident of its ability to weather these uncertainties, given the strategies in place to manage costs while focusing on growth in non-advertising revenue-related business. Meanwhile, Group Managing Director Rafiq Razali said the media conglomerate will continue to defend its leadership positions by providing compelling content for audiences across its media platforms, concurrent with offering premium advertising inventory for advertisers. Typhoon Mawar pounds Guam with high winds. News from the foreign front when we return. Foreign front, the majority of Thailand senators have not yet decided if they will back the leader of Move Forward Party MFP, Pita Limjaroenrat, as Prime Minister, although the party pulled off a stunning victory in the May 14th general election. MFP, which won the most seats in the lower house parliamentary election, and its 7 coalition partners, are the closest to securing enough seats to be able to elect as the nation's next Prime Minister. However, according to outspoken Senator Wan Chai Sonsiri, senators' opinions in an extraordinary session last Friday do not represent their final stance or indicate how they will vote. Senators have 3 options: vote for Pita, not vote for him, or abstain from voting. But Win Chai claimed that several senators are not expected to make a decision until voting day. On Tuesday, up to 300 protesters staged a protest in front of Thai Parliament building, demanding the 250 appointed senators to vote for the MFP leader as the next premier, saying that it was the people's verdict. Typhoon Mawar roared over the United States territory of Guam on Wednesday, bringing destructive winds to the Pacific military outpost. Warnings of extreme winds and flash floods have been issued for the territory, with the officials cautioning that widespread destructive winds of 185 to 225 kilometers per hour were moving over northern areas of the island. Authorities have also issued evacuation orders and opened temporary shelters, while U.S. President Joe Biden declared a state of emergency for the island of 170,000 people, paving the way for federal aid. The country's National Weather Service has warned of the triple threats of torrential rain, catastrophic winds and a life-threatening storm surge, saying surge may reach to between 6.1 and 7.6 meters above normal high tide for the most vulnerable storm surge-prone areas near the eye walk. Sri Lanka's Navy on Wednesday said it had located 14 bodies inside a Chinese fishing boat, which capsized last week with 39 crew on board. The discovery came a day after a preliminary probe by the Chinese Transport Ministry concluded that all those on board had died. The Lu Peng Yuan Yu 028 has previously overturned on May 16th, with 17 Chinese, 17 Indonesians and 5 Filipinos on board, with Australia's vast search and rescue region. On Tuesday, the Sri Lankan Navy said it had recovered 2 bodies and spotted 12 more, but due to decomposition and the potential health hazards posed by operating in contaminated waters with limited protective gear, it was determined that retrieving those bodies would be exceedingly dangerous. It said that the locations of the 12 bodies inside the boat were mapped and handed to Chinese authorities. Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida on Wednesday said the country had no plans to become a NATO member, but acknowledged that the Security Alliance's plan to open a liaison office in Japan. Kishida's comments came after the Japanese ambassador to the U.S. earlier this month said that the U.S.-led military pact was planning a Tokyo office, the first in Asia, to facilitate consultations in the region. The leader stressed that the country was not planning to join NATO as a member or semi-member state and was not aware of any decision made at NATO regarding the establishment of the office. In response, China said it does not welcome NATO's plan to open a liaison office in Japan, saying Tokyo should be extra cautious on the issue of military security given its history of aggression. Japan previously hosted the Group of 7 summit in Hiroshima, where the leaders of rich democracies agree to de-risk, not decouple, economic engagement with China and reaffirm the importance of peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. Moving on, Greece's President Katerina Sakellaropoulou on Wednesday appointed a caretaker prime minister to form a government that will lead the country to a repeat election on June 25th after last weekend's inconclusive vote. The leader has appointed a senior judicial official, Ioannis Samas, who is a president of the Hellenic Court of Audit, one of the country's 3 senior courts. Following Sunday's inconclusive vote, Greeks will head to the polls for a second time after the 3 main party leaders rejected a mandate by Sakellaropoulou to form a coalition government. Under Greece's constitution, if coalition talks fail, the president will appoint a caretaker prime minister to lead the country to a repeat vote. The conservative New Democracy Party of Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis stormed to victory, polling 40.1% last Sunday, but fell short of an outright majority. The 2 parties that followed also refused to form a coalition, pushing off for a second vote in June. Football, the 2023 Super League. 4 more games took place on Wednesday night. Terengganu FC recorded a narrow 1-0 win over Penang FC, while KL City FC were held to a 1-0 draw by Kuching City FC. Johor Darul Takzim claimed a 2-0 win over Sri Pahang FC. In Petaling Jaya host Selangor FC bounced back from a 1-goal down to beat Kedah Darul Aman FC 3-2. Amir Bagiraborov gave KDA the lead after just 6 minutes before Aaron Del Valle levelled the score for Selangor in the 23rd minute. William Lira restored the advantage for KDA 5 minutes later, just for Faisal Halim to again draw level for the Red Giants in the 40th minute. The match was about to end when Nur Al-Rawadeh struck the winner for the home side, giving Selangor a 3-2 win and the much-needed 3 points. Moving on to badminton, the 2023 Perodua Malaysia Masters, national top men's singles shuttler Lee Zijia booked his berth in the second round after claiming a straight-set victory over China's Lu Guangzhou on Wednesday night. Fourth-seeded Zijia enjoyed a convincing start as he took the first set 21-12. Lu pushed harder in the second set, but Zijia kept cool to claim the second set 21-19, a spot in the second round. And earlier, another national men's singles shuttler Ng Ziyong failed to qualify to the next round after losing to Japan's Kenta Nishimoto. Ng had a good start, taking the opener 21-17. He, however, failed to maintain his momentum, losing the next 2 sets 16-21, 13-21. Meanwhile, national mixed doubles hopes Goh Soon Huat Chevan Lai was shown the exit after suffering a shocking defeat to unseeded Indonesian pair. Facing Praveen Jordan, Melati Deva Octavianti, Goh and Chevan were not at their best as they went 19-21, 21-18, 21-12 down. In the women's singles event, Goh Jinwei was also sent packing after she bowed to Yvonne Lee of Germany. Goh lost the first set 17-21 before bouncing back to take the second set with the same scoreline. The decider, however, belonged to Yvonne as she sealed her place in the next round with a 21-15 win. Coming up after the break, pregnant woman brutally murdered by boyfriend. Don't go away. Thanks for staying with us. In Pulau Pinang, police will investigate the possible involvement of any triad groups in the bullying cases at 2 schools in Butterworth and Balik Pulau recently. State Police Chief Datuk Kor Kok Chin said if investigations pointed to such involvement, police would act against the gang involved.
Kita akan melihat juga siasatan itu jurus kepada sama ada kegiatan-kegiatan kongsi gelap yang menjadi tulang di belakang untuk support mereka itu. Kalau ya, kita akan ambil tindakan ke atas kongsi-kongsi gelap yang terlibat dalam sekolah-sekolah itu.
Datuk Kaur added police were in the process of completing the investigation papers before handing them over to the Deputy Public Prosecutor for further instructions. Prior to this, police arrested 9 boys aged between 14 and 16 who are students of a secondary school in Butterworth to help investigate 2 cases of bullying at the school. However, all of them were released on police bail after their statements were taken. In a separate incident, 5 Form 5 students of another school in Balik Pulau were detained to assist in investigation into a bullying case involving a Form 3 student of the school. The students, all aged 17, were released on police bail after having their statements recorded. A 21-year-old woman in Sabak Bernam, Selangor was brutally murdered by her boyfriend in an attempt to conceal her out-of-wedlock pregnancy before her body was burned twice. The victim, who was a waitress at a restaurant, was stabbed to death before she was disemboweled by the suspect to remove the fetus in the incident on Monday night. Sabak Bernam District Police Chief Superintendent Agus Salim Muhammad Alias said police arrested the 20-year-old man at his family home in Sungai Besar at 1:45 p.m. on Tuesday to facilitate investigation into the case under the Penal Code for murder. It was believed that the suspect and the victim had been in a year-long relationship, and the woman was believed to have been about 4 months pregnant. He added the suspect took the victim to an oil palm plantation in Sungai Besar, where she was killed after she refused to keep her pregnancy a secret.
Dia pukul kawan ni, mangsa ni, pengsan. Dan tempoh pengsan di situ sakit dia mati dia tu. Dia pun toreh sebenarnya perut tu nak keluarkan bayi itu untuk melupuskan bukti bahawa dia ada hubungan dengan situ.
The suspect then proceeded to burn the victim's body before visiting the murder scene again on Tuesday morning to destroy the remaining evidence. The charred remains of the victim were discovered by members of the public who immediately alerted police. The suspect has been remanded for 6 days until next Monday, while the victim's body had been taken to Sungai Buloh Hospital for post-mortem. Former Malaysia Automotive Robotics and IoT Institute MARI CEO Datuk Muhammad Madani Sahari was charged again on Wednesday with 12 counts of engaging in money laundering activities amounting to 1.04 million ringgit in 2021 and 2022. The 56-year-old pleaded not guilty to all the charges in the Anwar Star Sessions Court before Judge Rohatul Akmal Abdullah. Datuk Madani was slapped with 10 counts of receiving the proceeds of illegal activities totaling 1 million ringgit from his lawyer's bank accounts. For the remaining 2 charges, he was charged with receiving proceeds from illegal activities amounting to 38,000 ringgit from a company from the purchase of shares amounting to 1 million ringgit. The offences allegedly took place at a bank branch in Kulim between September 7th, 2021 and February 22nd last year. This is the 4th time he was hauled to court, as he had been charged twice in the Shah Alam Sessions Court and once in the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court. The court upheld the bail amount of 300,000 ringgit set by the Shah Alam Sessions Court previously, with additional conditions including a guarantor. The case will be mentioned again on June 9th in the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court. And that wraps up today's edition of Nightline. But before we go, we leave you with visuals of the Langkawi International Maritime and Aerospace Exhibition Lima 23, opening its curtain on Tuesday after a 4-year hiatus. Up to 20 international pavilions from the US, China, UK and many more participate in one of the largest maritime and aerospace exhibitions in the Asia-Pacific. I'm Muhammed. Hamdan. Thanks for watching and take care, Malaysia.